Welcome back to a new video, and in this one we're checking out the I'm kidding, it's not one of those, but it's actually heavily inspired by the Defender. But what you're actually looking at here is the Ineos Grenadier. And not only is it built new from the ground up, but it also borrows parts from BMW. Yes, under the hood, you've got the BMW 3-litre inline-6 turbo engine, the B58. And yes, there is also a diesel, and that comes in the form of a 3-litre inline-6 twin turbocharged engine. And as expected, they do put out some decent power too. So the petrol version gets 210 kilowatts and 450 newton meters of torque, with the diesel putting out 183 kilowatts and 550 newton meters of torque. And the claimed fuel consumption I don't think is too bad either, taking into account the size of the car and the power that it's putting out. So you're going to get 12.8 liters per 100 Ks from the petrol and 9.3 liters per 100 Ks for the diesel. And if you're wondering, why does this look so much like a Land Rover Defender? Well, that's because British billionaire Sir Jim Ratcliffe decided that he wants to see the Defender live on. So he asked to buy the patents. Land Rover said no. So he's like, cool, I'm going to do my own thing and build what I want. So he essentially built the modern day Land Rover Defender, the Defender that probably should have been built before the new one, as the successor to the outgoing legend. And from my first impressions, I think he's done an amazing job, because not only does it have all the power, but it's got a raised off-road suspension and has been built on a solid ladder frame chassis. It's got permanent 4-wheel drive, it's got 3 locking differentials, solid beam axles, and everything you need to feel completely capable and able to do anything you want off-road. And it's also been built to be personalized for the drivers, because as you can see, you've got rails on each of the doors to load accessories, to add anything you want onto the car. Up top here too, there's additional bars to also lock more accessories onto, with also pre-wired sections. So if you want to put lighting and anything you want, you can do it because they've thought about it already. And in terms of underbody protection, they've got you too, because as standard, you get that in the front and the back. And then looking at the lighting, you can see you've got lights integrated into the grille, and you've also got daytime running lights up front and LED rear tail lights. And then taking a closer look at the rear of the car, you can see this has been built to be adventure ready. You've got that really steep departure angle at the bottom there, as well as the Ineos branding. You can also see the underbody protection that I was showing you, as well as some additional tow points, a tow bar, as well as a spare wheel on the back here with some Grenadier branding. But check this out, an actual powder coated ladder to get onto the roof. I think that's pretty cool. And the reason why the ladder is on the back and why the tire isn't centered is because it's a split door at the back. So once you open it up, you'll see that the door opens like a single door. So if you want to just quickly get something out of the back, you can do that. But if you want to go in a little bit closer, you can open up the latch on the inside and the whole door will open. And you've got this huge cavity inside you. The whole back of the car is now completely open. So there's huge amounts of useful space to load whatever you need. And taking a closer look at the rear, you've got this durable floor, as well as some additional rails and hooks so that you can tie things down if you need to, and a power socket in case you need to power anything like a vacuum cleaner, an air compressor, or anything like that. And I hope that it comes across on the video, but when you close these doors, they sound absolutely solid. So let's see if you can hear it. Yeah, that's super satisfying to hear. But it's also quite reassuring in terms of build quality and how strong this car is. But anyway, let's take a look at the inside now. And once you get into the inside of the Grenadier, you can really see and understand the vision that they had in terms of bringing the Defender to life in 2023 and 2024 going forward. Because this is all super utilitarian, but it's also really modern. And one of those aspects is the use of the BMW gear selector for the ZF gearbox. But more specifically here is the use of the switches and the dials and the buttons and everything around the interior. But the modern centerpiece has to be the big 12-inch display sitting on the top of the dash. And it works like any other infotainment in most modern cars. You're able to look through all of the systems, you're able to look through all the settings, manage your car's infotainment, the music and everything that you need. But it's also got quite a bit of functionality from an off-road perspective, which I can hopefully get into a little bit more detail when I get a chance to take this car for a drive. But for now, this is what the infotainment looks like and how easy it is to operate off of the rotary dial in the center. And then onto the steering wheel, because this steering wheel is actually pretty cool. So it's got all the functions and features that you expect from a modern day steering wheel. Like on the left hand side here, you're able to navigate your cruise control and everything like that. And on the right, you've got all your infotainment settings as well as a red button as your second hooter. Firstly, you've got the main hooter, which is what you're going to use to hoot at cars and everyone else like that. And it's pretty loud. But you've also got this one here, which is for bicycles. So if you don't want to be rude and just want to give someone a little toot, you literally do that. A little toot. I love that. And if you notice, the driver's display is a little screen just behind the steering wheel, which will show all of your important driving information. Right now, it's just lights because the car's off. And then one of my favorite features of the Grenadier has to be the control panels that sit on the roof between the driver and the passenger. It makes you feel like you're in a tank or a helicopter. The switches are so tactile. There's auxiliary ones there for all your lights and everything you need. But it also houses all of your off-road settings. So this is where you'd go to lock your differentials, put the car into off-road mode, and remind yourself on the dimensions of the car too. This is such a standout feature for me. And I absolutely love the little sunroofs that pop open just above the driver and passenger. There's such cool touches. Again, it makes you feel like you're in some sort of army vehicle. Adding to the modern sportiness of this car are the standard seats that come in here. And yes, those are Recaro seats, which have been designed to be durable and comfortable at the same time. And then hopping into the rear, the space and the legroom for adults is actually quite good. Now, as you can see, the seats have got these indents built into them, so it adds some additional legroom in here for me. Now, yes, I'm quite tall, and I've got plenty legroom here because this driver's seat can still move quite a bit forward. The passengers in the rear also get their own air vents as well as some USB slots. And because adventuring gets you dirty, you are able to hose out the dirt because the floors are not carpeted. And then onto pricing and the different versions that you can get. Now, I've already spoken about the two engines, which actually don't make any difference to the price of the car. You can choose whichever one you want, but you are able to get this in the SUV/station wagon, as well as the Quartermaster double cab. So that's essentially a bucky version. And then each of those versions gets a different edition too. So you can either get a Fieldmaster edition or the Trailmaster edition, which is just like other cars, going to add and take away different specification levels. Now, if you're wanting to get yourself an Ineos Grenadier, then go check one out on changecars.co.za, where you'll even find deals like these demos for just under 1.5 million. That's worth looking at. But the great thing about Change Cars is that they vet and check every single dealer that sells cars on their website, making sure that there's no dealers there that are going to scam you or take you for a ride. Change Cars prides themselves on service excellence and even rates every single dealership that sells cars on the website too. Change Cars is also a hub for everything automotive. So not only can you go and watch car reviews, but you can read articles. And if you don't know much about cars and what they cost, then simply click on what can I afford? And you can put in all your information and Change Cars will give you amount per month and actually suggest what cars to buy with that. And if you bring them a quote from a dealership that's not on their website, not only will they match it, but they'll beat it too. So go check out changecars.co.za. They're also a proud partner of Greg Dennis Reviews. So thanks for watching this video. There's a little bit of a walk around and my first impressions of the Ineos Grenadier. I think it's a pretty cool car and it's definitely filled that gap in the market that the Defender left and that it's filling in terms of technology, looks, advancements and everything like that. So if you enjoyed this video, please will you drop a like below. And if you want to see more videos like this and other car related content, then make sure that you subscribe because I also want to take this for a drive. You don't want to miss that. So thanks again, and until then, I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.